I'm Derek Rinsema, and before this gets started, I just want to say that this is kind of a difficult episode for me to be making and for me to put together. It just took a little bit more out of me than I thought it would, so I'm sorry if it's kind of all over the place, but here it is. It's about that time again where I sit down and talk to the camera because I don't really know what the fuck is going on, and I need this for myself. I was just watching the episodes of whatever this is, the ones that I did already, episode 1 and episode 2, and I'm watching those right now because I'm procrastinating, like a lot. I'm procrastinating quite a bit. The problem is that I feel like I have so many things that I need to be doing right now. Like I'm literally... At the end of the day, it's a good thing, I think, that I have this many things that I'm trying to do, because... It's better than not having things to do, but I'm starting to get not overwhelmed, but, well, yeah, overwhelmed. I think I'm starting to get overwhelmed a little bit. So as I always do when I get overwhelmed, I decided to go back to the past. This is March 2021. This is when I was making, or starting to make, the first project that I ever made, and really kind of getting that energy and that workflow together when it came to making music by myself and doing everything like that. And yeah, it was a time. I was just kind of like alone the whole entire time, but I learned so much and I was teaching myself so much, and it was just, you know, a really formative time in my life, but also stressful at the same time because I didn't know what was going on. There is kind of just an overall theme of stress in this episode. I'm trying to wrap my mind around what it is that I need to do to get these releases that I want to get finished. On top of that, I have to do whatever this is, episode 3, which I have an idea for, but it also kind of throws other people under the bus and it doesn't throw other people under the bus, but it's one that I have to kind of tiptoe around because there's a lot of stuff that I feel like I want to say but I can't say, but I also don't want to say because it'll end up becoming a bigger issue than... There's just a lot of shit that I'm trying to figure out, that I'm trying to wrap my head around, and I'm stressed. And you might be saying, then why even make the episode about this? Well, because it's the only thing that's on my mind right now and that I have footage of that I could think of. I don't know where we're going, but we'll get there. But where you so all knowing, saying I don't know where I'm going, but I'll get there. I know. So this is the apartment that I moved into after I was living with my mom for a bit after I got out of rehab. Like I explained in the previous episodes, this was just me alone in this studio apartment, pretty much by myself, and in October of this year I ended up relapsing. But that was all explained in previous episodes. This is just a segue to go into the next portion of this episode, which is that a good friend of mine, I mean, I've known her forever. She was coming to town on her tour, and she asked me to take pictures for her, and I was like, okay, bet. I was super excited for that. This was after I had relapsed already, and I took some pictures for her and some videos, and they're probably the worst pics and vids I've ever taken in my life, but, you know. I just came into the party for the I'm trying to make a friend fall in love. It's a little harsh on myself to say that that's the worst I've done. It was just a bad situation. I was high, I had a broken lens, it was a whole situation, but I mean, I made it work. The thing is, though, is like my problematic self, I get an inch and try to take a fucking mile, and so that night, I'm pretty sure, I texted her and was like, hey, maybe if it's cool with you, I'll just go ahead and go to Texas and take pictures and videos for the Texas leg of your tour, just cause it would be cool. And she didn't respond for a really long time, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. It would be a cool opportunity if she ended up saying yes, and I wouldn't want to like pass it up, you know. So I just ended up going to Texas, which was so fucking stupid, and waiting. And of course she responded and was like, yo, this isn't gonna work out. Like, what? No, sorry you came out here. And I don't blame her at all for that, at all. Like, Dude, that was such delusional thinking on my part, and I'm so sorry, genuinely, for putting her in that position, and also just, so stupid on my behalf. But stress. I ended up losing both my jobs. I no call, no showed for like a week, and that started the real spiral of things. Flash forward a year. Here's my first show.
I'm on that time. It's the last month. I'll be broke. Counting M's. Gonna turn into a pastime.
Yeah, what's up, guys? This is my first show ever, so I'm just thank you.
Before this, when it came to filming, I was really only around large shows, with like a lot of energy, whatever. I wasn't really around underground shows, and so that was eye-opening, but I loved it. Fuck. But just because I loved it and I did my first show did not mean that anything in my life changed. I was still a mess, and this was still one of the worst times of my life.
I don't know how the story goes. I'm still trying to figure out how the story goes. I really just want to do music. I didn't go to college. Maybe if I just like applied for a job, made a reel, and like got a fucking salary editing job that I could do here, that would be fucking ideal, but I don't know if I can do that. So I'm just gonna keep making music and we'll go from there. I really fucking what am I trying to say?
This is one of the major reasons why this episode is hard for me, because genuinely this time in my life was not good for many reasons. This was after I had already relapsed on pretty much anything that I could, and I was not doing well. I was not a good person to the people that I was around. I was not a good friend to anyone. I wasn't a good person to my family. It was just bad. It was really bad. But you know, I just have to come to terms with that. That is a part of my past that I need to just accept and move forward from it. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job of that. But I was all over the place during this time in my life, and it was just not a good time. And it was no one's fault but my own. I want to stress that as heavily as I can. It was no one's fault but my own. I've tried to, pin blame on people and things and situations, and it's like, no, it was my brain, and it was only my brain. And yeah, just me doing me things when I'm not doing good, That's really what it came down to.
No, one sec. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. You're gonna find out what I'm gonna do. I need to make a lot more songs. I have like 100 songs that are unreleased, and I should probably make that like 300. It's dry as fuck. I keep biting my lips. Listen. How the fuck is this supposed to work? I feel like everyone hates me. I feel like no one really hates me though, actually. I think I just think that in my head. Oh, what I was gonna say. I think if you can not drink for a little bit, that's probably the best decision that you can make if you don't feel good about yourself. But also now it's like, okay, this is real life. I'm 21 now, about to turn 22, and I have to really fucking figure it out. I need to figure it out. I need to make my music work. I need to make everything work. So I'm just gonna try to make that happen. How that's gonna go, I don't know. But we'll just see. We'll just see what's going on.
And I wish I could do it all over again. Differently, obviously. But, you know, no one gets second chances like that. Life is life, and life keeps going, and you gotta do what you can with what you have. And I came around to that. Took long enough.
I'm stressed. I'm feeling the effects of being manically low, if that makes sense, which happens quite a bit, and that's not like a big issue that's like foreign to me or a new thing, but I think I just need to calm down. But you could see by the way that I'm ranting about this stuff, it's like it's one thing after another, and that's not even all of it. Aside from that though, I think it's good that I have all of this shit figured out. Not figured out. None of it's figured out. I need to figure out like all of it still, to be honest, but I feel like it's good that I have a direction now, even though the direction is not really clear. Cuz I feel like it would be good to have a clear direction. I'm saying that I'm a fucking director and I don't have a clear direction. Like, if you understand that from like a personality and a mind frame standpoint, I think you can understand what I'm talking about and what I mean with that. If I'm focusing this much on myself, and if I'm trying to focus on myself more, I don't want to let people down that I'm already doing other things with. You know, like in terms of band stuff and everything like that, I don't want to let anyone down. And I don't think I would, but I don't think that everyone has the mindset that I have in terms of the way that I wouldn't, if that makes sense. Because I feel like everything I do for myself is directly helpful for everyone that I'm around and doing stuff with in terms of the band, but I don't want it to seem like I'm just being self-centered and trying to do everything myself, when at the same time, like, I have to, and it's the only thing that I have complete control over, so of course I'm gonna do that. That might make me a narcissist. I also feel like this, whatever this is, series is kind of just egotistical at the end of the day. But I also kind of need it, and I think it's also kind of helping me and will help me in the future with knowing what I want to do. I feel like just being able to know that I completed something like this is going to help me with motivation to complete whatever it is that I want to complete in the future. Does that make sense? I think I have a good idea for what I want the third episode to be, but it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So we'll see what I end up doing with that. Okay, that's enough.